Thank you for staying here and joining us today. Don't be surprised to see me. Today's a special edition. It's International Women's Day, so I'll do this for Becky instead. And as part of the celebration, the entertainment team spent some time with Lucy Quist, Executive Director of Airtel Ghana. And here's an excerpt of that interview.
We're exploring Ghanaian women, and of course we are looking at beautiful ways to make Ghana a better place for women especially. And well, there are lots of women in Ghana outside the world, but we always have some particular women a lot of us look up to, and when it comes to what we want to be, we're always looking at them. Madame Lucy Quist is the CEO of Airtel, and she has so much to tell us because, well, she is the CEO, and I'm sure most of us look up to her. Hi.
Hello, Doreen. How are you today?
I am great and honored to be interviewing you today.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
All right. So, well, as part of International Women's Day, well, we're looking at it this way. What are some of the setbacks women face in our Ghanaian society today?
Well, I think that over many probably generations, we've come to a relatively rigid mindset around what women are capable of. It's not just a Ghanaian issue, it's a global issue, but in our context, what happens in Ghana is what's most important to us. We fix our own country first. And so we've decided roles for women which sometimes can limit their ability to realize their potential. You know, so it's very easy for a woman to be told that she can't go into a job because it's seen as a predominantly male job. It's seen as it's not the kind of job that will be amenable to all the things that society expects her to do. And you know, case in point is myself, where I not only studied engineering but worked as an engineer. So I've had my fair share of people wondering, why would you bother with engineering? But the truth is that when you have the potential is not gender specific. Potential is based on your talents as a human being and what you're capable of. And I think as we celebrate International Women's Day, we need to celebrate the fact that we have a beautiful country where we have women as well as men of great potential, and we should encourage them despite what we know societally. We should drive a new mindset that says we want our women to be all that they can be.
But you as a person, I mean, you have lived outside and you've lived in Ghana. You've worked both there outside and in Ghana too. How did you overcome some of these challenges? I'm sure you probably had that challenge where somebody would say, oh, I don't think you can make it, or maybe you should just take it up to this level and then continue from there. How were you able to overcome it?
I think growing up as a young child, I was very fortunate right from the beginning that I had the absolute full support of my dad. In fact, I sometimes have to rephrase it and say it's not even support. It was what he made normal. I believe in normality impacting our lives and our futures heavily. And my dad never gave me a sense of what was a woman's role versus a man's role. His view was, do whatever you want to do. And particularly when it came to engineering, because he was an engineer, he was always very keen for me to participate in what he was doing. Equally, my mother was always about have big dreams, want great things in your future. You know, think up what is not visible and possible around people now and hope for it. So that gave me a very strong foundation going into the world, where then I came across people who, a few held similar views as my parents, but of course there were many who felt that I shouldn't go ahead with engineering. I think that in Ghana, it's more about being a woman and not being seen as a role, that ambition being seen as the role of a woman. When you're outside of Ghana, then in addition to your gender, sometimes in some circumstances, your race plays a role as well. It's about giving our children that strong foundation of self-belief and confidence, which is what I believe I got, so that regardless of the circumstance this young woman finds herself in, she will have the strength to pursue her dreams.
Okay. So with that, what would be the difference when it comes to Ghana and the outside world? What in particular makes us different from them when it comes to, I mean, women?
You know, when it comes to comparing Ghana to the outside world, I'm actually delighted to say that I think that compared to many, many countries, Ghana is actually a lot more progressive. Because we have come from a cultural background. When you read the history of Ghana, there have always been strong women at play. We read about the Yaa Asantewaa. We read about Theodosia, coming up with the flag, which again, if we were a society that doesn't believe in women, how did Theodosia win the competition with, the flag? You read about women like Ifwa Sutherland. You read about, Lawyer Kwenye here at The Hague and so on. So I think actually when you compare us to many parts of the world, we're actually a very progressive nation. In fact, there's a study that says that we have one of the highest per capita share of female entrepreneurs on the continent and globally as well. I think as part of our journey into modernity, we have inherited some of the burdens of other countries. We've kind of allowed them to infuse our own way of thinking and doing things. And so when it comes to a corporate setting, corporate has had a greater bias to say that says women are not capable than our own culture has had. We have.
And that'll be all for this edition of Joy News Today. For more news, log on to myjoyonline.com. You can also follow us on social media, on Facebook and Twitter. We are Joy News on TV. If you get onto those social media handles, we'll be giving you the latest news updates. My name is Bernice Abu-Bedou, and from the entire team, we wish you a very happy International Women's Day to all the women out there. Up next is The Marketplace with Emmanuel Abuaji. Thanks for your company.